We begin now at the top of Daf Mem Daled Amud Aleph from Maseches Berachos. This is Berachos Daf 44a. We begin with the Mishnah. The Mishnah says, Heviu lefan of Meliach Techila upas imo. If they bring before him a kind of a salted food first, together with bread, mevorech al hamaliach, he can make a bracha on the salted food, upoter as apas, and he can pater the bread. Shapas tefela lo, because the bread is subservient to this salted food. It is tuffel to the salted food. Zaklal, here's the rule: kol shu ikr v'imo tefela. If you have an ikr and a tuffel, mevorech al ikr, you make a bracha on the main thing, upoter es tefela, and that paters the tuffel thing, that paters the item which is subservient to the main thing. The Gemara now asks the obvious question: Umi ikamidi to have a meliach ikr upas tefela. Do we ever have a situation where the salted food is going to be the ikr and the pas is going to be tuffel to it? Generally speaking, pas is automatically the ikr. Amar Ravacha Brei Rav Avira Amar Ravashi. So Ravacha, the son of Rav Avira, said in the name of Ravashi, Ba'ochle Peiros Ginosar Shanu. We're talking about somebody's eating the fruits of Ginosar. Rashi says, Peiros Ginosar, Peiros Eretz Yam Kinneret. This is the Peiros of the Kinneret, Chashuvim min Apas. They are more important than bread. Amar Rava bar Barchana, Rava bar Barchana said, Ki havo azlinan basri Rabbi Yochanan lemechal peiros ginosar. When I would follow Rabbi Yochanan to eat the peiros ginosar, ki havinan bei meya minaktinan leilachol chad v'chad asar. So we were bringing Rabbi Yochanan this fruit. If there was 100 of us, each one would carry 10. V'chi havinan bei asar, and if there were 10 of us, minaktinan le kol chad v'chad meya. So each person would then bring 100. So at the end of the calculation, no matter what, they would bring Rabbi Yochanan 1,000 fruits of ginosar. So each 100 of them would fill a basket of 3 saw. Some have the gear so that it did not fill a basket of 3 saw. And he would eat them. And he would swear that it's like he tasted nothing. He would eat all these fruits and it was like tasting nothing. So the Gemara says, you think it was like tasting nothing? Elo'ema mizona rather means to say he felt no satiation. It did not fill him at all to eat this fruit. Rabbi Avo achel adahav sharg ledudava me'apuse. So Rabbi Avohu would eat so much of these fruits that it would get to the point. Rashi explains what this means here. Shahazvuv machlik mimitzcho. The fly would slip on his forehead because it made his skin so smooth that from eating all these fruits that the fly couldn't even stay on his skin. The Gemara says, "V'Rav Ami v'Rav Asi have achliyad denasar mazayu." They would eat so much of these fruits. Rav Ami and Rav Asi would eat so much of these fruits that their hair would fall out. Rabbi Shimon Lakish have achliyad demorid. Rabbi Shimon Lakish would eat until he rebelled. Rashi says, what does it mean rebelled? It means daito mitarefes. It drove him crazy. He ate so much fruit that he became crazy. So what happened? So the Gemara continues and says that V'amar lahu Rabbi Yochanan l'devei Nasiya. Rabbi Yochanan ended up telling the house of the Nasi what's going on with Reish Lakish, that he's going crazy. V'havim meshader le Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya ba'alushe abasrei u'maisi le'lebeisei. Rabbi Yehuda the Nasi, he would have to send a whole mass of people after him in order to bring him to his house. Ki also Rav Dimi Amar, when Rav Dimi came, he said, Irachas haisalo Yanai HaMelech b'Har HaMelech. There was one city that Yanai HaMelech had at Har HaMelech. Shahayu motziyim mimena shishim ribo siflei taris lekotze te'enim. From that mountain they were able to produce, they would take out 600,000 baskets of fish for those who were cutting the figs. Erev Shabbos, l'Erev Shabbos, from one Erev Shabbos to the next Erev Shabbos. Ki asa Ravin, when Ravin came, Amr, he said, Ilan echad hayalo l'Yanai HaMelech. There was one tree that Yanai HaMelech had, b'Har HaMelech, and Har HaMelech, sheyo merida mimenu arboim sa gozalos, mishalosh brechos b'chodesh. They would bring down 40 saw of birds, of newborn birds, 3 times a month would come out of this tree in Har HaMelech. Ki asa Rav Yitzchak, when Rav Yitzchak came, he said, there was one city in Eretz Yisrael, V'Gufnis Shema. Its name was Gufnis. Shahayu b'shmonim zugos achim kohanim, nesuim l'shmonim zugos achios kohanos. There were 80 pairs of brothers who were kohanim who were married to 80 pairs of sisters who were kohanim. So it would be like 2 brothers marrying 2 sisters. That happened 80 times. The idea here is that the population was so large in this area that they were able to find this many pairs of siblings that were married. And the rabbis checked, that was in Eretz Yisrael, so the rabbis checked from Surah until Nahardai in Bavel, this area, and they couldn't find any examples of such a thing. Barmi bin Seder Rav Chisda, except for the daughters of Rav Chisda, to have an Asivan L'Rami Bar Chama Ula Mar Ukva Bar Chama. So the daughters of Rav Chisda married Rami Bar Chama and Mar Ukva Bar Chama. That was the only examples of brothers marrying sisters. The Avagav De'ini Hava Kahantan. In that example, even though they were the daughters of a Kohen, Rav Chisda was a Kohen. Inu Lo Havakani. However, the Rami Bar Chama and Mar Ukva Bar Chama were not Kohanim. Amar Rav says, Kol Su'uda Shein Ba Melach Ein Asuda. Any meal without salt is not a meal. Amar Rav Chia Bar Abba, Amar Rav Yochanan, and Rav Chia Bar Abba says in the name of Rav Yochanan, Kol Su'uda Shein Ba Sarif Ein Asuda. Any Su'uda that does not have sarif is not a meal. What is sarif? Rashi says over here, sarif tav shilach sheyesh bo morak kimo sorfa chai. So it seems to be some kind of a moist cooked item with liquid in it. Any meal without that is not considered a meal. The Gemara now continues with the Mishnah. If a person is eating grapes or figs or pomegranates, you make the full benching divrei Rabbi Gamliel. This is the opinion of Rabbi Gamliel. The Chachamim say you make one bracha, what we would call in this situation al ha'etz bracha. Rabbi Akiva Omer afilo achal shalak v'hu mizono. Even if a person eats cooked vegetables and it's his meal, mevarich olav gimel brachas. Since it's his meal, he makes a full benching. He makes the 3 brachas of benching. Hashos hamayim letzmeyo mevarich shahakol niyeh b'dvaro. Person drinks water because he's thirsty. He makes a shahakol. Rabbi Tarfon Omer bori nefashos rabos v'chesronan. And Rabbi Tarfon says he makes a bracha of bori nefashos. Gemara now says, my time into Rabbi Gamliel. What is the reason of Rabbi Gamliel? Why does Rabbi Gamliel say that a person needs to bench even when he's eating these fruits of Eretz Yisrael? Because the pasuk says, Eretz chito sa'or v'gomer. That's the pasuk which lists the 7 fruits of Eretz Yisrael. Uchsiv Eretz asher lo v'miskenus tochal bo lechem v'gomer. Then the pasuk continues talking about lechem, bread, uchsiv yachalta v'savata v'erachtas Hashem Elokecha, and then comes the pasuk about eating and being satisfied and benching. So since all of these things are listed, we can assume everything in the list, including all 7 fruits of Eretz Yisrael, requires benching. The Rabbanon eretz hifsakinyan, but the Rabbanon respond, no, the word eretz that comes in the middle, it is an interruption, and therefore the pasuk which says to bench is only going on lechem. It's not going on the things that come before eretz. Rabbi Gamliel nami eretz hifsak inyan. But doesn't Rabbi Gamliel agree that eretz is an interruption? So he answers, hahumi boile lemuute hakosis as hachita. That the reason why eretz is there is not to interrupt from all the things on the list. It's to make a distinction between eating bread, which is made from wheat, and eating the wheat itself. Because we know that when a person eats the wheat itself, he certainly does not need to bench. So we're trying to tell you there's a distinction between bread and wheat, and that's why we put the word eretz in between them. Amar Rabbi Yaakov Baridi, Amar Rabbi Chanina. Rabbi Yaakov Baridi says in the name of Rabbi Chanina, Kol shu mechameshes haminin, anything that comes from the 5 species of grain, b'tchila mevarich ala borim minei mizonos, ulevasof bracha achas mein shalosh. You make a mizonos as a bracha rishona, and then you make the bracha mein shalosh as the bracha achrona, what we call ala mechya. Amar Rabba Bar Mori, Amar Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi. Rabbi Bar Mori says in the name of Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, Kol shu mishivas haminim, anything that comes from the 7 fruits of Eretz Yisrael, b'tchila mevarich bori priya eitz, as a bracha rishon, you make a bori priya eitz, ulevasof bracha achas mein shalosh, and then you make the mein shalosh bracha, what we call al ha'etz ve'al priya eitz. Amar le Abai le Rav Dimi. Abai said to Rav Dimi, Mai niu bracha achas mein shalosh. What is the text of this bracha mein shalosh? Amar le, so he said to him, Peri de eitz, al ha'etz ve'al priya eitz ve'al tenuvas hasada ve'al eretz chem netov v'rchava shinchal l'avasenu lechol mi'periyav v'lospam mi'tova rachem Hashem Elokeinu al Yisrael amecha ve'al Yerushalayim yirecha ve'al mikdashecha ve'al mizbechecha v'sivnei Yerushalayim yirkachecha v'mheirav yameinu v'alinu l'sochav samcheinu bo ki ata tov meitiv l'kol. That is the basic text that we have of the Al Ha'etz bracha. Techameshes haminim, and then when it comes to the Al Michya bracha, the one we make after the 5 grains, the text goes as follows: Al Michya ve'al kol kol ve'al tunuvas hasada v'chulu v'chosem al aretz ve'al Michya, and you finish off the bracha with Al aretz ve'al Michya. So the Gemara says Michsam b'may chasim. So what do you finish off? What is the way you finish off the bracha when it comes to fruits? Kiasa Rav Dimi Amar, when Rav Dimi came, he said, Rav Chasim Berosh Chodesh. He said, Rav, he used to finish on Rosh Chodesh, Baruch Mekadesh Yisrael V'Rosh Chodashim. So when he made a bracha on Rosh Chodesh, he would say, Mekadesh Yisrael V'Rosh Chodashim. So the Gemara says, okay, but Hachamai, but what do you do over here? What about in this situation by fruit? So Rav Chisda Amar Al Haaretz Ve'al Peiroseh. Rav Chisda says you say a bracha Al Haaretz, on the land and on its fruits. Rav Yochanan Amar Al Haaretz Ve'al Peiros. on the land and on the fruits. Amar Rav Amram, and Rav Amram said, "V'lo pligi." They're not arguing. Halon v'halahu. It depends if you're in Eretz Yisrael. It depends if you're in Bavel. And Rashi explains over here as follows. Rashi says, "Halon v'halahu." Rav Chisda mi Bavel. Rav Chisda was from Bavel. Ubebavel chas mi alaretz v'al peroseh. So in Bavel they would finish off the bracha talking about the land and its fruits, the fruits of Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Yochanan Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Yochanan was from Eretz Yisrael. V'hasam chasmi ala peros. So in Eretz Yisrael, they ended off the bracha just on the fruit. The Gemara is going to ask in a moment. That seems like it's backwards. If you're from Eretz Yisrael, you should say its fruits. You should say the fruits of Eretz Yisrael. So the Gemara now says, Maskif la Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak asks, Inu achli v'anon mevorchen. They eat their fruits and we make a bracha on their fruits. What's going on? If we're eating fruits not in Eretz Yisrael, why are we saying al peroseha? Ela epach, rather, the Gemara says you should reverse it. Rav Chisda amar al aretz ve'al peros. Rav Chisda says on the land and on the fruits. Rav Yochanan amar, and Rav Yochanan says al ha'aretz ve'al peroseha, on the land and on its fruits. Now, before we finish the daf, we should take a look at just a couple of Rashis. The Gemara had a strange little line over there where they asked, how do we finish the bracha when it comes to fruits? And the Gemara interrupted by saying, Rav on Rosh Chodesh, he used to finish Mekadesh Yisrael v'Rosh Chodashim. So what's going on with that interruption? So Rashi explains, Rav Chosim b'Rosh Chodesh v'chulu, Afagav the Damuletarti. The idea here was Rav, when he finished the bracha on Rosh Chodesh, so he finished with two things. He had Baruch Mekadesh Yisrael v'Rosh Chodashim. So the Gemara is trying to point out that you can say two things when you finish the bracha. It doesn't have to only be one thing. That's why the Gemara says, Hachamai, here what's the halacha? Mi mechasminan betarti. Here, when it comes to fruit, do we finish with two things? Kahai gavna, in that way, kagon al ha'aretz ve'al peros. Like we could say the land and the fruits. V'lo have a chasima b'shtayim mamish kin mefarish la b'perek shlosh achlu. It's really not actually like doing two separate things, which will be explained later on. So the point of the Gemara, according to Rashi, the point of the Gemara is to basically to ask, when we finish off the bracha, is it okay to mention both aretz and peros? And with that, we conclude Daf Mem Dalet Amud Aleph. We'll continue the next video, Daf Mem Dalet Amud Beis.